Hi there, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about your responsibilities as a student on a student visa in the UK. This is a really important section that we are covering today, and we would encourage you to maybe take some notes or go through this presentation a couple of times to ensure you fully understand the responsibilities of being a student visa holder. So we are going to cover your responsibilities once you arrive. We're going to cover your responsibilities during study, so attendance and authorised attendance, and what we would consider unsatisfactory attendance to be. We're going to talk about working on the student visa and what work you can do, what work you can't do. We're going to move on to changes of circumstance, which is a really important aspect to understand. And then finally, we're going to end with our responsibilities as a university.
We're now going to talk you through a little bit about what to do on arrival. So the first step is to collect your BRP from the post office and bring this along with copies of your original documents to the Student Centre. This is situated on the ground floor of the Waterfront building, and a member of the staff will then scan the documents, attach them to your student records, and this will trigger your enrolment, and you should receive an email inviting you to enrol. We'll be holding drop-in sessions for you to bring your IDs in during the induction period between 11 and 1 p.m. every day in the Student Centre. This is to ensure that you have time to provide your documents to us, and then you can ask us any questions about the enrolment process. So then the next thing you'll need to do is to enrol on your course, and this is on the date specified in your CAS. And to do this, you'll need to log on to Oasis using your username and password that was provided to you during your application. And then you'll have to complete all the fields with relevant information. The final stage of enrolment involves completing a declaration that you agree to our policies and procedures. And this includes the tuition fee policy, our attendance and engagement policy, and our general regulations. It's really important to read through those and to understand them. If you have any issues with completing your enrolment, please do not hesitate to contact us and we can provide some guidance on the process. Once you've enrolled, you'll need to pay your course fees, and the enrolment triggers an invoice to be sent out to you, which must be paid within 30 days of the invoice date. It's important that you're aware of the tuition fee policy and the different liability points. So 2 weeks after the start of your course, you will be liable for 80% of the course cost for that year. And you need to refer to the tuition fee policy to see when you become liable for 100% of the course cost. The liability points can be viewed in Appendix 1 of the tuition fee policy. We also offer a payment plan to support in funding your studies, and this can be found in Appendix 2 of the tuition fee policy. And so please note that you must request a payment plan from finance. It's not automatically given to all students. You have to request this, and you can do that once you have received your invoice.
So as your sponsor, we are responsible for monitoring your engagement with your studies and reporting any changement in this to the UKVI. We would really encourage you to view our attendance monitoring policy that can be found on our website, as this outlines the university's policies surrounding attendance. So this begs two questions: why we monitor attendance and how we monitor attendance. So we monitor attendance to comply with our responsibilities as a visa sponsor. The UKVI can, at any time, request information on our visa holders, and this includes our students' attendance records. Attendance monitoring also enables us to support students with advice and guidance, and if a student's engagement in their programme is low, we always want to ensure that they're provided with relevant university services and support to ensure they can fully engage in their studies. So then this brings us on to how we monitor attendance. So attendance is monitored through what's called face-to-face expected interactions and electronically. It's important to attend lectures and not miss expected interactions such as seminars and meetings. To ensure your attendance is noted, please familiarise yourself with the Check-in Plus system. Each session At the beginning of each session, you'll be provided with a 5-digit code that you will use to confirm that you're in attendance of the lecture. If you're unable to type the code into the app, we would encourage you to speak to your lecturer at the end of the lecture and ensure that they record your attendance for the session. If you arrive early, arrive late, or leave early, then this may also affect your attendance for the session. Great, so we're now going to move on to what's called authorised absences. So authorised absences are required during periods of non-attendance longer than 7 calendar days. If you're going to be absent during study for a period longer than 7 days, then you're going to need to request an authorised absence by contacting your academic administrator and making them aware that you'll be unable to attend during this period. This includes when you are absent due to illness, and therefore in these situations you would be required to provide a sick note. A sick note can be obtained through your GP, your doctor, and therefore we would encourage you to sign up to a GP as soon as possible. You can find a GP via the Find a GP page on the NHS website. Your request for an authorised absence is granted at the discretion of the department based on your ability to submit assignments, sit examinations, and progress normally on your course. If you're unwell, we do understand that you would be unable to attend for a period of time. However, in situations like a holiday or wanting to attend an event overseas where you're going to be absent from your programme, it would be at the course team's discretion whether they allow that absence or not. If you miss expected interactions, such as seminars or lectures, this may lead to you having unsatisfactory attendance. If your attendance is deemed unsatisfactory, you'll be contacted by your academic administrator and also international advice. We offer meetings to understand what we can do to support you to attend your programme. If you miss multiple interactions, this will result in a request to discuss your attendance. And of course, due to our reporting responsibilities as a university, if you have multiple unauthorised absences, we will be required to report this to the UKVI.
So we're now moving on to talk a little bit about working during your studies, as many of you will want to do that. So depending on your visa, you may be able to work during your study. Most students on a full-time visa can work no more than 20 hours a week during term time, and outside term time you can work full-time, which is around 35 to 40 hours per week. However, it's important that you let your employer know your term dates and that you do not work full-time within the term time. When considering working hours, both paid and unpaid work counts towards this amount. You can't therefore do 20 hours of paid work and then another 10 hours of volunteering, as this would be in breach of your visa conditions. There are also restrictions on the type of work you can undertake whilst you're in the UK. For example, you're unable to be self-employed or work as a professional sports person. If you require a letter to show your employer your term dates, please contact the International Advice Team and we can help you with this. If you're studying a PhD, term dates are not formally set and you are required to request leave from your supervisor and the doctoral college. So for further information on this, please do get in contact with us. And if you're unsure about how many hours you're entitled to work, this is printed on your BRP and also on your vignette in your passport under your work conditions. Please be aware that to work in the UK, you'll be required to have a national insurance number. And if this is not already printed on your BRP, you may need to apply on the government website on the screen. Additionally, UKISA, which is the UK Council for International Student Affairs, is a really helpful resource that we go to daily, and it's updated when the rules are updated, so definitely keep a look on that website for further information about this.
Now we're going to talk about changes of circumstance. If your circumstances change during your study, it's a priority that you inform the UKVI and the university as soon as possible. A change of circumstances includes your phone number, your address, your name, and your nationality or criminal convictions. If you're unsure if a change of circumstances requires reporting, please contact us and we'll be able to provide further guidance. And if you're aware that your circumstances will be changing, such as if you're planning on getting married, please make the International Advice Team aware in advance and we can support you in updating these details. So you can inform the UKVI through what's called the Change of Circumstances form, and this can be found on the UKVI website or through our visa guidance page on our website. If you have had to request a new passport, you will need to complete the paper form rather than completing the digital form, but most changes can be made via the digital form. Some changes will not affect your visa, such as your phone number, your address, and your name, whereas something like a change of nationality or any criminal convictions may affect your status. Some changes, such as a name change, would require that you apply for a new BRP and submit this to the university once it's received. To inform the university of these changes, you can either update us via Oasis by going to the Update Your Contact Details tab, or you can come to the Student Centre and we'll be more than happy to change that on your behalf. If you have any difficulties, please feel free to contact us or come to the Student Centre for further assistance. Once again, we would really encourage you to keep the International Advice Team informed of these changes, as without doing this, it may lead to significant issues with your visa sponsorship. Finally, we do say to all students that if you are concerned at any point that you may require a visa extension, please get in contact a minimum of 3 months before your visa expiry and we'll be happy to discuss your options.
We're now going to talk a little bit about our responsibilities as your visa sponsor. So the university has responsibilities that we must follow to ensure that we are compliant with UK immigration law. At any time, the UKVI can request documentation and information about our visa holders, and as an institution, we must supply that. So this includes documentation such as your passport, evidence of your immigration permissions, your attendance records, your UK contact details, an ATAS certificate if that's required, and any other documentation they request. Therefore, it's really important that you ensure that you have kept us up to date with any document changes to ensure that we are providing the UK with the correct information. We're also expected to report on student activity to the UKVI, and there are instances in which we would have to report non-compliance to them, such as failure to enrol on your course, poor attendance, or breaching the conditions of your visa. However, we are also expected to report changes of circumstances, such as a change of name or successful completion of your course.
Once you've successfully completed your programme, you may wish to apply for the Graduate Route Visa. The Graduate Route Visa is a 2-year post-study work visa that allows you to remain in the UK and work full-time in a permanent position. If you are interested in the Graduate Route Visa at the end of your study, we would encourage you to reach out to us as we will need to confirm your successful completion to the UKVI before you apply. We would strongly encourage you not to apply before we have made a successful completion confirmation to the UKVI. If you do apply beforehand, that may lead to you losing your visa application fee. Thank you so much for attending. Please go back through this presentation. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out at internationaladvice@uos.ac.uk. Many thanks.